Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Ketubot, page 40, which discusses the very sensitive topic that's found throughout this chapter of onus mafata, namely in the situation where a man will either rape or convince a woman to seduce her, and then ultimately she acquiesces and agrees. In these situations, there are very, very steep penalties. The Torah says there is a specific amount that is a kanas, and that penalty is 50 shkolim. Obviously, it's not comparable to 50 American dollars. We can imagine we're talking a couple thousand years ago. That is a substantial amount of money that the man has to pay for committing this horrific crime. Of course, we've discussed other things that take place in order to strip this man from his feelings of being in control, for him to feel a total lack of control in his punishment. But here we find that in addition to that substantial amount of money, there is also what's called boshes upagam, that she was ridiculed, she was demeaned and humiliated by this act, and therefore he also has additional penalties and payments that he must give. Now, unlike when it comes to the kanas penalty, which is a set amount, and it doesn't matter who the person was, and it doesn't matter who the woman was, it's always the same amount. When it comes to the situation of pagam, we say, and also when it comes to boshes, it really depends on the situation. When it comes specifically to boshes, the embarrassment and humiliation that was caused, we say it's all lafi ha-mevayish va-misbayish. We look at the man and we look at the woman. We look at what type of man he is. Is he a man of prominent stature or a lowly man? Either way, of course, his action shows he's a lowly person, but maybe he's considered to have been in high stature before this act. And we also look at the woman. We look at the type of woman she is. Is she the daughter of a king, for example? Or is she a daughter of a typical family? And depending on where she comes from and her feelings of this act and all these things, which are obviously takes tremendous amount of foresight to evaluate, this is also part of the equation. So we find that the Torah is extremely strict when it comes to this, that even though it's not considered to be a capital offense, and we in general do not imprison a person except under rare circumstances, we will heavily punish this person in form of penalties in order to, again, hopefully deter any person from committing such horrific crimes, knowing the severity of the punishments that they would receive.